Hi everyone, it's Nicole. Welcome back to my channel and another paper crafting video tutorial. Today I am going to be creating this autumn Shadowbox card. This was actually a Patreon exclusive that I have edited and put out for everyone. So what we're doing is doing a lot of mix and matching, which is something I love to do, and we're also going to be incorporating a wax seal. Now you might notice that I have my wax seal heating up here, my wax beads and all of that, and then I am showing the products I'm using. Now the majority of my products today are coming from the Spellbinders Envelope of Wonder set, and we're going to be using the Autumn Wonder, but I also showed the Halloween, and there is a Christmas. I think maybe I forgot to pull it, which is what I had said in here. We're also going to use these autumn sealed sprigs. These are made to work with the wax seals, but we're going to use them in a fun way for the shadow box. And for the shadow box itself, we're going to be using the Peekaboo backdrop from Lawn Fawn. And what I love about this is I basically went to my stash and found a frame die that had openings in it to give me that shadow box look. So that's kind of what we're doing here. And then obviously if you want to, well, Halloween has passed now, but create a Halloween card, but there's a Christmas set or a floral set that's greater for like spring and things, definitely you could create this for any season, and you'll have to let me know if you want to see more cards like this. So I am taking a couple of newer colors of wax beads, some orange and some autumn or gold, not autumn, gold. I can't think of the name of it right off the top of my head. I will look for that. I think it's Glitz Gold. There we go. I wanted to say the right name for it. And I have mixed them together. Now, instead of using the Spellbinders heating unit, which I did link down below, but you can see in the video description, this is an electric wax seal warming unit that I got off Amazon. It's super inexpensive, but instead of an open flame on your desk or work surface, it plugs in. You guys, it's brilliant. I love it so much. I will link to the exact one I got down in the description below. It comes in a tiny little box. It would make a great gift for your crafty buddies. It would make a great stocking stuffer for yourself or your favorite crafty friend. So if you love making wax seals, I think this is a game changer, honestly. It has changed completely how I feel about wax seals because I just love this little electric unit. We're also going to be doing a little better press today with a set of sentiments, also not new. In fact, almost everything I'm using besides the colors of the wax beads isn't very new. So really fun there. We're going to start by embossing the background. I wanted the background of my shadow box to have some texture to it, and I'm using the August 2024 Spellbinders embossing folder of the month called Hand Drawn Lines. And I am embossing this on, I believe this is alabaster cardstock. I will have all of those down below, but just a nice ivory. And that's going to give it some great texture. Now, if you don't like how your wax seal turns out, if it doesn't turn out perfectly or anything like that, and you can see there where I did one that was more orange and then I mixed in the Glitz Gold. The Glitz Gold mutes that bright orange just a little bit. I love it. It's really great for that. And I'm using the little stir stick that comes with the electric wax seal warmer to mix the colors, not over mix, just mix it a little bit. And then I'm just dipping the wax seal in. Now this wax seal is called, I think it's Pumpkin Trio. It is really, really pretty. It is a newer product for this year. So this is, I guess, a little bit newer, but it's absolutely lovely. Okay, I'm done with my wax seals. I'm just going to move that all out of the way. I kind of wanted to get that done early on, and we're going to start working on the background and building our shadow box. I have I have die cut everything off camera today, so that we can simply put it together here in this video. So I decided to go direct to paper over those embossed hand-drawn lines first, but I thought it was a little too harsh. So I'm actually going to go back over it now And I'm going to use my blending brush to mute that, and I really like how it looks. So I like the darker with that little bit of ink blending there in the background. And I'm working on my glass mat so that I can easily clean that up. So once I kind of have that the way I want it to look, I am going to take a little bit of Bubbling Cauldron Distress Mica Stain, and I'm going to distress the background a little bit as well. I also want to take my Shadowbox frame, this is that Lawn Fawn frame, and I'm going to direct to paper with this because I did die cut it from wood grain cardstock, and I want to pick up the texture of the frame, but I don't want to completely cover it. I just really want to emphasize the wood grain nature of this to give it that Shadowbox feel. So again, just a small ink blending or ink pad works great for this. You can use your bigger ones as well, but I love the little mini size distress ink pads for that technique. Then I decided we need to add even more ink around the edges of this. I did like the light application, but as I held the frame over the background, I decided let's go a little bit darker. I think we don't want it to be as stark of a contrast as I had originally planned. And this is a good example of kind of rolling with the plan and adjusting and making it work without having to re-die cut out of another piece of paper or anything like that. Oh yeah, that's gonna look good. We want everything inside the shadow box to be the emphasis and not the shadow box and background itself, if that makes sense. So this is the Bubbling Cauldron Distress Mica Stain, I think it is, or Harvest Moon, one of those. Just something yellow and shimmery. I know it looks a little harsh right now, but as it dries, it's really going to give us this goldeny shimmer in the background, which is what I wanted. Just a tad bit of distressing. Now on the back of my Shadowbox frame, this is where I'm going to piece together some thin foam adhesive strips so that I can pop up the frame. That little bit of depth and dimension is really going to give it that shadow box effect. And so I'm piecing together these thin foam adhesive strips all over the back. I love the thin foam adhesive strips. They are one of my top favorite products because they work so great for sentiment strips. They work great to curve around the edges of things. If you remove the backing paper, if you're making shakers, they work in all those little tight nooks and crannies. And so I really, really think they are a fantastic product to have in your crafty arsenal. So now once we have that, we are going to place it over the background and we're going to start building each of our shadow box openings. So for this shadow box, we have 4 openings, 2 tall and 2 square. And in each, we want them to have a definite little cluster effect. Lots of greenery, lots of mushrooms, pumpkins, of course, all of the beautiful autumnal colors. This is an autumnal shadow box, not Halloween. Just perfect for autumn, which when this video goes up, it is November, and I just think it's a perfect card for November. You could change the sentiment for Thanksgiving. You could just send it to a friend. You could put a birthday greeting on it, whatever the case may be. This is one of those card designs that is going to work for many occasions. So the envelope of Wonder Autumn has lots of mushrooms in it, and they are so fun to build. You're going to notice I'm using an ink blending brush quite a bit to kind of distress, grunge, and add some texture to almost everything in this. All of my pieces, when I die cut them, I had die cut them a day or two ahead of the live that I had originally done for this card. I keep everything in a Spellbinders craft stacks, and I cannot emphasize enough, if you love all the little bits, bobs, goodies for die cutting, for felt stitching, whatever the little project is you're working on, these craft stacks are fantastic. You can die cut a whole bunch of things. Like, let's say you can't do all of your card creation and assembly and everything in one evening. You need to spread it out over a few nights, or maybe you're making holiday cards or holiday tags. You can work on them and then you can place them in these craft stacks and not worry about the pieces scattering. Maybe you have a curious kitty that gets up into your stuff and knocks things and moves things around. Or maybe you're like me and you're just messy and you are constantly like crafting on top of yourself. Basically, you're not great at cleaning up from each crafting session. I know I should be better. I actually am doing better, but sometimes I have ongoing projects, like I have one right now. And by putting things in those craft stacks, I am not worried that the next time I go to craft, that they're just sitting in a stack and they've gone missing, because I can't tell you how many times that's happened to me. So I highly, highly recommend these craft stacks. I think they are such a good investment for organizing yourself when you're crafting. So you can see in that tall opening on the left, we are building some mushrooms and greenery. And I think the greenery is really key to the design of this shadow box. It just softens everything and it adds that richness in color and design. So we're going to have a mushroom opening, a pumpkin, and we also are going to tuck a mushroom in here, as well as some fun little berry branch. Leaves and acorns are going to go in the bottom left, down below those two mushrooms, and then in the bottom right, the other tall opening. This is where we can also incorporate some of the taller aspects. So the autumn sealed sprigs that I talked about work with the wax seals. But I'm using them here because I like how tall they are. So they're going to add that height to the design that I just love. And that's going to be a sunflower, another mushroom, and then lots of different greenery pieces and leaves. You're going to see just kind of a whole assortment, all of the autumnal feels for this design. I'm pulling in some of the brushed gold Spellbinders cardstock. I love the brushed gold. I think it just adds, again, that richness to any kind of design. I love it for holiday. I love it for autumn. I love it for everything, truly. There are several colors of brushed cardstock from Spellbinders, including brushed white, brushed black, brushed silver, and gold. I recommend all of them. They are incredible and some of my very, very favorite basics as far as cardstock goes. So here is a little bit of that brown on green. I do talk about this a lot in videos, that my favorite greens are from Hero Arts. And that is going to be Palm and Pesto cardstock. They are gorgeous colors. So, so beautiful. And they're my two very favorite greens. And that is what I'm using for this card design today. The little sunflower, I love this little pop of that mustardy yellow on the card. I just love a little bit of yellow. Just like red seems to just be one of those things that works on almost every card design. Yellow does the same for me. And I love it incorporated with the rich reds and the beautiful oranges, not purples, sorry. Oranges and browns and neutrals of the August, oh my gosh, you guys, not August, autumn card. So sorry. So these little berry branches ended up being one of my favorite parts of this, and I think they work great. I just think they work great in this as a little filler, if you will. The acorns are another really, really cute aspect of this. And there's a large and a small. I love them together. I definitely felt like we needed both of them. But then the little berry sprigs, I decided to do this really pretty kind of burnt orange berries on them. And I love that. So little pops of orange are going to be, and I think I put one in every opening. I didn't necessarily plan on that to begin with. That's just how it worked out. and I'm not mad about it. I love them. The reds, again, anytime you feel like your cardstock is either flat or maybe a tad too bright for what you're designing, hit it with a little bit of a brown neutral ink. I'm not even really re-inking my ink blending brush that often for this. I'm using the ink on there to just mute the color just a tad. We don't want to cover it up in this case, but muting it definitely softens the effect, and it also really just gives that depth and dimension that we want for our card. Okay, I am really happy with this, so we are going to start putting it all together. I have sped up the assembly portion of this, but I did leave it in the video in case you either want to slow it down or skip past it, either one. But I know a lot of times it might be helpful to kind of see the thought process and how I put it all together, but it does take a little bit of time with this mini die cut pieces. And I've talked about this many times in the past that I am a fan of all the little die cut pieces. You can use as many or few as you want. So let's say maybe you don't want to do this many die cuts. Consider taking maybe just one of the openings of the shadow box, popping it into the center of a card, adding a little sentiment either below it, or if you are using the taller pieces, through the center of it, and call it good. Maybe a little, splatter distress in the background, maybe an embossing folder in the background. You can take different elements of the design and break it down into something that works for you. It doesn't have to be full on, extra like I tend to like to be. Hopefully I just inspire you to maybe even just take elements of it or all of it, whatever you personally like. I think you could take little bits of this, add them to tags. How cute would that be? Really, the sky is the limit. One of my favorite things to make are shelf or mantle type cards, like decorating a quote unquote mantle for autumn or Christmas or whatever. That's something that you're going to see more of here on my channel, because I'd love to do seasonal and maybe kind of compile all of those videos into a playlist or a blog post, maybe both. Once I have one for all of the seasons, just as inspiration of how you can take a lot of the same elements, shelf dies and things like that, and incorporate other things to really make it versatile. It's very versatile. A lot of these things can be used in many, many ways. You could use these to build a scene card instead of a shadow box. You could add in some little critters. You could add in, little squirrels or bunnies or fox or whatever. Anything that you like here. Again, I know I said it, but the sky is the limit. Die cuts are so much fun to play with. And these are just beautiful. You could even leave the sentiment off if you wanted to and frame this. That would be an absolutely beautiful decoration if you really were just looking to create something beautiful to just look at during the season. Okay, we're going to take the Better Press system now, and I've got some cotton card panel. This is the Always and Forever sentiment strips, and I know it sounds like maybe it's love and wedding, but it's really not. We've got, welcome little one, you brighten my day, happy anniversary, you're my everything, sending you strength, you're in my thoughts, always and forever. So definitely, yes, some love theme, but I like that. Happy birthday. Feel better soon. Thanks a million. So proud of you. Handmade for you. Forever grateful. Hello, sweet friend. Yes, that's the one I used. And congratulations. You guys, look at all the greetings you get. So what is awesome about this is the Better Press is going to press all of these into your cotton card panel. Then you can take the coordinating die and it's going to die cut all of them in one pass. Yes, that means I have loads of fantastic sentiments that I can simply pop on a card. I Love this. This is my favorite way to do a sentiment, especially a sentiment strip. And if you don't want to do better press, which I am doing better press here using the color Rustic, which is a beautiful brown, you could foil this. Maybe you want a little touch of glimmer and shimmer shine to your card. Use the Glimmer hot foil system with the better press plate, and you can foil this. So I love that. Now I did get a little glob there. I think I can probably save that sentiment, but even if I can't, it's only one sentiment and the rest are fantastic. So I'm going to take my coordinating die, and it has those great little fishtail banners. We're going to tape it in place, run it through our die cutting machine. I do use the Lilac Shimmer Spellbinders Platinum. I love it. It is an exclusive, I believe, to the Spellbinders website. It's a beautiful lavender machine with florals on it. I know, I did not think I would be a lavender kind of girl, but apparently I am. I love my machine. And we're going to grab our sentiment. You can see how easily they pop out. I'll just put the rest to the side. Another fantastic use for your craft stacks, friends. You can pop all of those extra sentiments right in your little craft stacks container. They are safe, and then you can just reach in there, grab a sentiment when you need it for a card. We're going to glue this right to our card, like so, and I'm going to pop the little pumpkin right over the top. Now, Spellbinders has these wonderful stickers that you can use to make any of your wax seals a sticker. Oh, they're fantastic. They're super sticky, and they're going to stay put. It also is great because you can put them on the back of your wax seals. Let's say you want to give those wax seals as a gift. Wouldn't that be cute for the holidays? You can put those on the back, put them in a cute little gift box, and gift them to your crafty bestie, and they can just simply pop them on their projects. Love it. Okay, we're going to take the gold mix gems from Spellbinders and scatter them about my card. I love the gems. You guys know this. I am a gem kind of girl, and the Spellbinders gems are my absolute favorite. Probably my favorite embellishment, not probably. Favorite embellishment of 2024. I think they are fantastic. I think they're versatile. I love that they are self-adhesive, no adhesive required. And the absolute best thing about these gems is that the teeny tiny ones work for so many things. They are my favorite. You get a ton on each of the sheets, and I tend to just kind of keep picking them up as I run out. So we're going to scatter these about. We're going to glue this entire panel to a white top fold card base. And that is it. Thank you guys so much for joining me today for this autumn Shadowbox card featuring lots of fun Spellbinders products. The supplies I used to create my card are listed and linked below the video here on YouTube. Thank you guys so much for joining me today, and we'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much for joining me today for another paper crafting tutorial. I love being able to share with this incredible community of crafters. I want to give a huge shout out and special thank you to my amazing Patreon members. If you're interested in joining Patreon, please click the link in the description underneath the video here on YouTube. Patreon is a private community where you can support more of what I do. There is exclusive content, information, and behind-the-scenes content. Top-tier members will receive a handmade birthday card during your birthday month, access to D-Stash, and monthly exclusive lives, plus so much more. We would love to have you join our growing community.